What's up YouTubers, Matador here with a classic World of Warcraft video, prepping you to be top DPS as a rogue in 40-man raid content when Classic WoW releases in summer 2019. Let's take a look at those talents. There are two viable specs as a raiding rogue at level 60. Both of them involve combat. The reason being, assassination has a lot of poison damage throughout, and you're not going to be able to stack poisons in the boss because of the 16 debuff slot limit. Also, with subtlety, the main damage abilities are bleeds, and the same situation is true. Bleeds are going to fall off the boss anytime you put them up there because they're not important debuffs. So that only really leaves combat, which is just kind of straight attacks with your weapons. The main spec people go is sword specialization. You could also go mace specialization if you get good enough maces, but there's a lot more one-handed swords in the game. Plus, this leads you to the possibility of picking up Thunder Fury, which is a legendary one-handed sword. So let's take a look at what sword specialization combat would look like. The first 2 points are going in improved Sinister Strike, because Sinister Strike is going to be your main attack. Immediately, you are given a choice of what to do with the next 3 points. It's entirely up to you. Neither of these are effective in raids because you're not going to be using Gouge on boss fights, and Dodge is pointless unless you happen to be evasion tanking ads. Because of that reason, I'm going to suggest that you put 3 points in the dodge chance in case you're off tanking an ad as the rogue. On the next level, you're going to put all 5 points into precision. 5% chance to hit with melee weapons is huge. That's an amazing talent. It should always be taken no matter what spec you do. You're again presented with a choice, in which case I recommend you put 2 points in endurance, which reduces the cooldown of your sprint and evasion by 1.5 minutes. And you put 2 points in improved sprint, which allows you to break out of movement impairing effects whenever you activate sprint, which may happen from time to time. Now you need to drop another point in order to move down to dual wield specialization, so I'm just going to add another point to dodge. Dual wield specialization allows you to increase the damage done by your offhand weapon by 50%, which is crucial to doing a decent amount of damage, white damage with your offhand. The next points you put in depend on the weapon that you choose. In this case, we're looking at sword specialization, so you'll put 5 points in sword specialization, which allows you a chance to get an extra attack. You'll put 1 point in Blade Fury, which allows you to increase your attack speed by 20%, but also activate a cleave onto another opponent. You'll put 2 points in Weapon Expertise, which increases your skill with swords by 5, which adds on to if you're a human rogue, you also have a sword specialization racial. So this is especially awesome for Alliance rogues. You'll put 3 points in Aggression, which increases the damage of Sinister Strike and your Eviscerate abilities, which are 2 abilities you're going to be using as sword spec. You'll put the final point in the talent tree with Adrenaline Rush, which is a long cooldown, 5 minutes, but it increases your energy regen by 100% for 15 seconds. Since it's a long cooldown, make sure that you time this appropriately for a large damage spike opportunity. The rest of the points will go into Assassination. You'll start with 5 points in Malice, which gives you a free 5% chance to critical strike, which is awesome. Anytime you see a hit or crit increase is usually the right choice. You're going to put 3 points in Improved Slice and Dice so that you can have Slice and Dice up all the time without having to waste combo points on recasting it too soon. Now you're presented with a choice of which of these 3 you want to take. In my judgment, I am going to put 3 points into Eviscerate, and I'm going to put 2 points into Murder, and then I will put 5 points in lethality, which increases crit strike damage bonus of Sinister Strike. You'll have 1 point left over, which you will put in Relentless Strikes to make sure that when you do a finishing move, you will restore 25 energy to yourself, so there's not much downtime. The only thing that can really be moved around is whether or not you want Ruthlessness in place of Murder or improve Eviscerate, which is up to you. But this is the basics of sword spec rogues. We're going to clean this out, and next we're going to look at combat specialization for dagger rogues, which has some slight variations, but is mostly very similar. So dagger rogues use backstab as the main ability, which means Sinister Strike is not useful. And since Gouge has no real role in raids, we're going to put all 5 points in dodge. Immediately we're going to put all 5 points into chance to hit, because this is absolutely crucial with any spec, but especially with a dual wielding spec where it's harder to hit mobs. Next, you're going to move over and put 3 points in improved backstab, which increases the crit strike chance of backstab by 30%, which is huge. Similar to sword spec, you're going to put 2 points in endurance, which reduces the cooldown of sprint and evasion by 1.5 minutes, and you'll go over and put 2 points in improved sprint, which will break you out of movement impairing effects. Again, you will put 5 points in dual wield specialization, which increases damage to your offhand weapon by 50%, which is great for the white damage. Since you're going dagger spec, you're going to put all 5 points into dagger specialization instead of the swords, which gives you an extra 5% chance to crit with daggers. You will put 1 point in Blade Fury, which again is an activated 2-minute cooldown, which increases attack speed by 20% and gives you cleave. You'll also put 2 points in Weapon Expertise, which increases your skill with daggers by 5. Then you'll activate Adrenaline Rush, which is that massive 5-minute cooldown that increases your energy regen for 15 seconds. Next, you'll move over to Assassination, and you'll put 5 points in Malice, which increases your crit strike chance overall by 5%. You'll again put 3 points in Improved Slice and Dice, so you're not wasting combo points on having to cast Slice and Dice too often. You will put 2 points into Murder, which increases all damage against various types of enemies. Then you will move down and put 5 points in Lethality, which increases the crit strike damage bonus of your backstab by 30%. I'm going to suggest at this point you move over to Subtlety and you put the last 5 points in Opportunity, which increases damage dealt by backstab by 20%. So this is an all-in backstab spec. If you like, you can take a point out of Subtlety or take a point out of Lethality here and put it into Relentless Strikes so that you have less downtime on energy restoration. For the most part, this is a decent backstab based dagger combat spec for raid. Thanks for checking out the talents with me today. If you appreciated this video, please leave a like or a subscribe or a comment down below so I know you want more WoW content from my channel. Also, feel free to check out guides online for alternative specializations, rotations, and best in slot items. Best of luck this summer.